everybody, Dr. Peter Glidden here. Welcome aboard to another edition, live edition of Fire Your MD Now, my favorite radio show. Hope it's yours too. Tell all your friends, tell all your family members, tell all your church members, tell all your community members about this show, because we are pulling back the curtain on the egregious failures of conventional American medicine with this show and showing people for free, no consultation charge, no insurance copay, no doctor's visit, no x-ray necessary, no MRI necessary, no CT scan necessary. We show people for free what they can do with science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition in order to support and promote the health of their bodies. If you have someone in your family who's struggling with a health issue, if you have someone in your community who's struggling with a health issue, if you have someone in your church or in your, in your domain, whatever that may be, and they're having trouble with a health issue, bring them to this radio station and let them listen to the truth, because the truth has a ring to it. And, we're getting to the baby boomers, the baby boomer generation, all the kids born, right after World War II. That generation of people, myself included, we were the movers and the shakers of this particular aspect of society. I mean, you look back on the last 30 years, last 20 years, it's been all about the baby boomers. Well, the baby boomers are getting sick, and there are millions of baby boomers, hundreds of millions of there's a lot of baby boomers, and they're sick. And they're struggling, and baby boomers are smart. It's hard to fool a baby boomer. The only reason that there's suffering in this world, medical suffering, physical suffering, mental and emotional suffering, is because the only medicine that we know about, what we think equals medicine, is what the MDs do. We don't know that there are, in fact, licensed physicians who do alternatives to drugs and surgery and actually get results. We don't know that the naturopaths exist. There are less than 4,000 of us. Every baby boomer in this country needs to know about what we do. Every baby boomer in this country is suffering needlessly. If you have high blood pressure or type 2 diabetes or arthritis or osteoporosis or osteopenia, if you have insomnia or heartburn, fibromyalgia, psoriasis, eczema, asthma, the only reason that you have these conditions is because you've gone to the wrong doctor. You've taken the wrong dog to the hunt. You didn't know there was another dog for the hunt. You thought that the only show in town was the MD. And the reason that you thought the only show in town was the MD is because that's what the MDs have gone out of their way to convince you for the last 100 years. They did a darn good job of it. This is one of my favorite sayings. I wrote about this in my book. If by some genie in the bottle magic, tomorrow, we woke up tomorrow, and there was equal access to naturopathic medicine, and, conventional medicine, what the MDs do, allopathic medicine. If there was equal access to naturopathic medicine, chiropractic medicine, homeopathic medicine, acupuncture and traditional Chinese medicine, if there was equal access to all of these different types of medicine, Ayurveda included, and equal research money given to all of these professions, right? That, they carved out, here's $100 million of money that we're going to do for cancer research. The naturopaths get $20 million, the Ayurvedics get $20 million, the chiropractors get $20 million, and so forth and so on. If it was a level playing field, financially and legally, if my profession could practice legally in all 52 states of this country and have insurance compensation in all 52 states, the MDs are well aware that if there was a level playing field, they would be out of business within 2, 3, 4 years, because their therapeutics fail. Our therapeutics succeed. The only reason the MDs are still in the driver's seat is because it's illegal to practice medicine if you're not an MD. That's pretty good, right? I mean, that's a pretty good job to have. If you owned a McDonald's, wouldn't you love it if there was a law that said there could be no other McDonald's in your state, that you were the only one allowed to sell hamburgers in your state? You know, you had no competition, no Burger King, no Wendy's, no nothing, just McDonald's. Wouldn't that be great? If you were an automobile mechanic, and wouldn't it be great if the state passed a law that said there could be no other automobile mechanics except your shop, and the people trained by you, and all of your franchises and all of your branches, they're the only ones? Wouldn't that be good? Be good for you, wouldn't it? Well, this is the kind of swag. It's not the right word. This is the kind of cachet that the MDs have enjoyed for the last 100 years. This is the privilege that the MDs have enjoyed for the last 100 years. They own the medical theater in the United States, and they own the medical theater in the United States because of financial and political coalitions which were built at the turn of the century that everybody has completely forgotten about. By the way, a fantastic book about this is my book. The MD Emperor Has No Clothes. It's available as an ebook now. You can pick it up at fireyourmdnow.com. That's fireyourmdnow.com. Follow the links. You can be reading my book in 5 minutes. It's available through Amazon as an ebook. You can also get it, if you're old-fashioned like me, as a paperback. $22 for the paperback, $10 for the ebook. It's a great reference, as I hope you're finding this radio station. You know, knowledge is power. We need to lift ourselves up. One of my favorite lecture topics is, you don't know what you don't know. There's some stuff that's so far outside of our realm of experience that, holy smokes, I didn't even know I didn't know that. Well, when it comes to health and well-being and medical treatment, the stuff that you don't know will kill you or heal you, depending. See, the problem here is, if by some genie-in-the-bottle magic there was a level playing field tomorrow in medicine in the United States, in all industrialized nations for that world, let's not be USA-centric for today, okay? If it was in every industrialized nation, boom, this was the way that it was. Within 2, 3, 4 years, you'd see MDs standing on the corner holding up signs, we'll do tonsillectomy for food, right? We'll do a gallbladder surgery for $50, whatever. Because they wouldn't be able to compete because their therapeutics fail. Their therapeutics consistently fail. Look around. Everybody is sick. Everybody's, had knee surgeries. Everybody's had shoulder surgeries. Everybody's on 2, 3, 4 prescription medications. I mean, after 30 years of age, forget it. It's a downhill slide. Especially if you're an athlete or a weekend warrior and, you're taxing your body more without putting the proper nutrients in it, your body's going to fail faster. And yet, because we're all in the monkey house together, and because the doors of the monkey house have been locked for 100 years, all that we know is that every monkey is sick. And because every monkey is sick, we think that that's the nature of being a monkey. Shout out to Raul and Elena, by the way. Speaking of monkeys. Got the neck brace or the neck pillow for the flights. Thank you very much. This is one team, one dream. We are all in this together, ladies and gentlemen. As God is my witness, we are all in this together. And, we have a business opportunity here and we have a health opportunity here. And when you come to one of my webinars, when you come to one of my live lectures, when you come to one of Dr. Wallach's live lectures, when you see a YouTube presentation that we've done, when you listen to one of the CDs, what we are doing is showing you what we're up to. I'm not forcing anything down anybody's throat. I'm showing you stuff that you didn't even know you didn't know. And there's a lot of it. For instance, there's heartburn is caused by too little stomach acid, not by too much stomach acid. High levels of blood calcium are indicative of low nutritional calcium levels. Kidney stones are not caused by too much calcium, they're caused by not enough. The MDs have gotten it completely wrong in their understanding of the pathophysiology and the genesis of most diseases. Over and over and over and over and over and over and over, they screw it up. But because they're the only show in town and because they have licensed and legislated themselves into #1 position, It's the only thing you know about, and since every monkey in this country is sick, we just think that's part of the deal. That's got to be the way that it is, right? I mean, this has got to be the best medicine in the world. Well, no. Because the U.S. right now ranks something stupid like 39th in life expectancy, somewhere in the 50s for the efficacy of our medical treatments. It's bad and getting worse. And all of this is, extremely ironic to me. Because if you sat behind my desk for 1 week, just 1 week, 7 days, if you sat behind my desk for 1 week, you would be, A, horrified at the amount of human suffering that exists in the world and the unbelievable piss-poor job that the MDs have done. You would be horrified. Number two, you would be amazed at the remarkable healing ability of the human body when it's directed properly. You would not believe the things that I've seen people recover from. Now, is this some magic potion? Is this some, snake oil? No, pharmaceuticals are snake oil. Pharmaceuticals are snake oil. Well, what we do isn't snake oil. What we do is science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition. It's not an overnight cure. What this is new-fashioned, not old-fashioned, new-fashioned medical nutrition, of which you have no practical nor personal experience. Most people have zero experience with this. Zero. So you don't know what your body is capable of because you've never driven that car correctly. I tried to play guitar for 20 years. Could never do it. Never had a good instructor. Never could just wrap my mind around it. I'm more of a left-brain person than a right-brain person. Couldn't do it. And, I had this guitar, and I started thinking it's got to be the guitar. And then a buddy of mine comes over to my house, a college buddy of one of my brothers. He's a musician. He picks up the guitar. Oh, my God. The music coming off of that little thing that I tried to pull a tune out of, unbelievable. Your body's the same way. You have no idea what it's capable of. Open your minds to science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition. FireYourMDNow.com is the website. FireYourMDNow.com. If for some reason you can't remember that, just do a Google search for me, Dr. Peter Glidden. I always pop up #1, and that'll give you links to my website, to the YouTube videos, to a lot of the stuff that we have produced here at Second Opinion Non-Drug Health Solutions. We're going to continue to do it, ladies and gentlemen. We're just getting started. You ain't seen nothing yet. Traveling to Canada tomorrow, going to be in Calgary and Edmonton giving back-to-back lectures, and then back here to Chicago and giving a lecture to the Amish in Shipshewana, Indiana on Saturday, because that's how we roll. People are suffering needlessly. People are suffering needlessly. And, all that we're doing, right, and I can't emphasize this enough, all that we are doing is showing people what we're up to, and then seeing if they would like to join us and in which capacity. So there's 2 ways to join us. You can join us for the health opportunity. You can tell us what your health condition is. We'll tell you what we recommend to support and promote the health of that part of your body with the science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition. Or you can join us for the business. And I hope that you join us for the business, because business builders promote this message. Business builders promote this message, and this is what needs to happen here. The Declaration of Independence was signed by 52 people. 52 people changed the entire course of history. It's always a small group of people, by the way, that does change the course of human history. So join our team. Join our longevity team, and let us show you how to spread our message of health recovery through medical nutrition to everybody in your world in a way which attracts them to you instead of in a way that chases them away from you, right? So here's the deal. The job description in longevity is to show one person a week the light, to bring one person a week into the fold. One person, that's it, one person a week. Well, now, if you bring one person into your longevity business a week, that's 4 people a month. And if the 4 people a month do the same thing, just one person a week, Just show, so you show 10 people what we're up to, and you get one person. That's about how the numbers go. You show what we're doing to 10 people, and, you know, you'll capture one. Because remember the old parable, the sower? The sower had good seed. Some of the seed fell on rocky ground. Some of the seed the bird got. Some of the seed started to grow and then got choked out. But some seed fell on fertile ground. You show our message to 10 people, you'll get one person. So you get one person a week into the business, one person a week into the longevity family, one person a week who wants to make a difference in the world, one person a week who has seen the light of medical nutrition and wants to spread that message to as many people as they possibly can. You don't have to be a rock star, just one person a week. So you bring in one person a week, everybody in your business brings in one person a week. By the end of a year, you'll be making $60,000 a month. $60,000 a month. A month. Now, multiply that by 12. That's $720,000, and that's just the beginning. All right? So listen, there's a vast opportunity here for very little risk. I've started businesses, cost $65,000, $150,000 just to even open the freaking front door. With longevity, it's $399. Come in for $399. If you're a serious business builder, that's the sign-up fee. Now, for that sign-up fee, you get $120 worth of product. So really, the only money that you've lost out of pocket, if you lose any, is about $280. That's it. $280. That's your risk. $280. You can lose $280. You can, if you attempt a longevity business and it fails. But the rewards that you can get if it succeeds for a $288 investment, it's astronomical. And even better, what are you doing? You are getting paid on the efforts of thousands of people. You've become like Steve Jobs. You've become like J.K. Rowling, right? You get paid on the efforts of hundreds and thousands of people. And that's a beautiful thing. That's residual income. That's real money. And that's what corporate America doesn't want you to know. Corporate America does not want you to know about longevity. Because the financial potential for longevity is so huge and the risk is so unbelievably tiny that if everybody in this country got turned on to longevity, the corporations would go out of business too. And I am not exaggerating. Chris is calling in with a question about dark circles under the eyes, I think. Chris, welcome aboard.
Hey, Dr. Glidden, how you doing?
Pretty good.
Okay, yeah, I called a couple of weeks ago about my eczema.
Yeah, what happened?
I guess I got a side question. Have you ever heard of your face flaking up after you take a shower or putting water on your face?
Yeah.
What's that about?
Yeah.
Is it something to do with the water?
No, it's usually, well, the only way to tell, parenthetically, is if it has something to do with the water. Usually it's not. Although I suppose in some cases if it's on well water that's particularly minerally rich, it could happen. You know, go to a hotel or a motel and use their shower and see if it happens when you're not in your house, right? That's the only way that you can tell. But generally speaking, when this happens, it's because your skin, the skin's a very interesting organ. It's the largest organ in the body. It has a number of different layers, kind of like, you know, a tree trunk. If you cut it in half, it's got all these different rings, right? Well, there's a number of different layers to the skin. And the skin needs a lot of nutrition in order to maintain its health, right? So when eczema starts to develop, when psoriasis starts to develop, when you get a keratosis or, you know, white spots or pigmentation on the body or dark spots or whatever, all of these things are happening because the skin is under attack from, you know, the environment and the stress of life, and it doesn't have enough nutrients in order to maintain its health. When I think of flaky skin, the first thing that I think of is not enough copper and not enough sulfur-bearing molecules, and also probably an allergy to wheat. Wheat, now this is not, there's two separate and distinct things here. There's a gluten intolerance, which most people have, I believe. That's an intolerance to the wheat molecule, which means that your body has a hard time digesting it. And because it has a hard time digesting it, it's going to damage tissue in the digestive tract when you eat wheat. That's one thing. That's the main reason why we recommend people avoid wheat. You can also have an allergy to wheat or, any other food. Any food that has a protein in it, you can have an allergy to. You can have an allergy to organically grown, strawberries or broccoli or carrots, right? You can be allergic to just about any food. And wheat, however, is a big bad voodoo daddy, and it's very easy to develop an allergy to wheat in addition to an intolerance to the protein in the wheat, which is gluten. Now, if you do have an allergy to wheat, one of the things that happens is your skin starts to become affected negatively. So, given a history of eczema, my recommendation to you would be just double down on the gluten-free stuff. And if there's one extra thing you could add to your supplement program that I didn't already advise you about, and I probably advised you about this already, is the glucogel. Because the glucogel supplement has sulfur-bearing molecules in it that your skin needs in order to be healthy. So when we're attempting to support and promote the health of the skin, right, in addition to the boilerplate 90 essential nutrients, it's a good idea to take a little extra glucogel in this regard and avoid all the big bad foods. Have you seen any difference in the eczema in 14 days?
I think so. Problem is, I really like pastries, and sometimes I go off. So.
All right. Well, that's all right. Thanks for the honesty, man. I appreciate it. And here's how you want to handle that. Okay. And it's really no different than a cigarette smoker trying to stop smoking cigarettes. It's hard, and I think it's harder to stop eating wheat than it is to stop smoking. Because wheat is everywhere, cigarettes are not, right? And we have it wrapped up in our minds that wheat is the staff of life, and it's a big, big leap of faith for our brains to make to stop eating wheat. And for goodness sake, it is everywhere, right? So here's what I want you to do. For 10 days in a row, stop eating wheat. Don't even look at it. Zero tolerance. Don't even have a crouton. Nothing. Zero tolerance for anything that has wheat on it. Just for 10 days. And halfway through the 10-day mark and at the end of the 10-day mark, do something good for yourself. Buy yourself a treat. Do something good for yourself to reward you for the discipline. Then on day 11, after you have been avoiding wheat like the plague for 10 days, all I want you to do on day 11 is eat wheat. Have pancakes for breakfast, have a bagel for lunch, have sandwiches, cookies, crackers, pasta, pastries. Go crazy for wheat on day 11. Wait 24 hours and see how you feel. And if something does not flare up remarkably on day 11, I will eat my hat. And then you'll have direct personal experience, right, that holy smokes. Dr. Glidden's right. Every time I eat wheat, I feel like crap. And, so as you get more and more experience under your belt, direct personal experience that, holy smokes, wheat really does make me feel like crap, it becomes way easier to not eat it. And it is a discipline. Don't get down on yourself, man. This is just not an easy row to hoe. It's not, but it's a very worthwhile row to hoe. I'm telling you, you're going to be like Jack and the Beanstalk. When you can dial in the wheat-free thing, your life will change, and you will dodge gigantic health bullets moving forward in your life. It's an extremely important thing to get under your belt, and that's a good way to do it. So keep up the good work, Chris. I know you can do it because I did it, and if I did it, anybody can do it. Alicia is up next with a question about joint pain. Alicia, welcome aboard. You are live.
Yes, hi, Dr. Glidden. How are you?
Good.
I have a downline member who uses the product. She has a history about 6 years ago of Lyme's disease, and at that time had terrible joint pain everywhere, elbows, wrists, hands, feet. Had a couple of flares up of that, like maybe the first year to 18 months afterwards, but since then has not had any problem at all. Started using the product about a month and a half ago, and almost within like a week of using the product, started having a lot of elbow pain, pain through her shoulders, neck, a lot of feet joint pain, Any reason why that might be happening?
Yeah, and I have a whole chapter about this in my book, The MD Emperor Has No Clothes. There's two possibilities. One is a curious phenomenon called Herring's Law of Cure. Now, this is a fascinating thing, and it's only the holistic doctors that have a clue about this, which is why you should only go to a holistic doctor for a chronic health condition. I mean, and quite frankly, if you hang out with longevity enough, you won't even need the doctor because you'll know more about what's going on in the body than any MD in this country will. Now, does that mean you'll be able to do surgery? No, but you'll know more about how to help people actually recover their health and what the heck is going on here than the MDs do, because they're like colorblind art critics. There's a whole bunch of stuff that they are incapable of seeing because of their training, even though it's right in front of their face. And this is the tragedy of modern American medicine. We have definitely put our trust in the wrong people. You know, they're colorblind art critics, the MDs, and their vision of health and illness has an a priori built-in prejudice that they're completely unaware of. But I digress. Herring's Law of Cure is the interesting observation that once somebody starts healing, really for real and for true healing, right? Once you promote and provoke the healing response of the body, once you actually do support and promote the body's ability to fix itself, however you do that. Sometimes it happens with a chiropractic adjustment. Sometimes it happens with an acupuncture treatment. Sometimes it happens with homeopathy or some Ayurvedic preparations. Sometimes, like in this case, it happens with medical nutrition. There's a number of things that can provoke a healing reaction or actually start the gears in the body, the healing gears in the body start to work, right? Now, once the healing is starting, Herring's Law of Cure is the curious observation that once healing begins, the body tends to fix itself from the most current symptom, rolling back in time to old symptoms that had previously disappeared. So, for example, let's say you had a 10-year-old kid who had asthma, and they went to the MDs. And the MDs do what the MDs do, and they give them, bronchodilators and inhalers and steroids, right? And so the kid takes all of these steroid medications and all of these symptom-suppressive medications for 2, 3, 4 years, and then the asthma, quote-unquote, disappears, right? Well, it hasn't been cured. The asthma has been, painted over. It's like the mold has been painted over. The root cause of the disease is still there. So once the asthma disappears, the child develops, high blood pressure, okay, for instance. Now, their parents get frustrated, take them to a holistic doctor, and the holistic doctor fixes the high blood pressure with medical nutrition or acupuncture or something, right? Fixes the high blood pressure. It's gone. You know what's going to happen? The asthma is going to come back. The asthma will reappear because now the body has the energy and the resources and the chutzpah, so to speak, in order to actually roll this symptom out again. It's like the healing that was instigated by the therapeutic that eliminated the high blood pressure stimulated the body in such a manner that it dragged that old suppressed symptom out, and boom, now it's back in your face. This is a fascinating thing. And it's happened so much that, they gave a name to it. The doctor that discovered it, Dr. Constantine Herring, one of the godfathers of homeopathy, quite an amazing man in his own right. This happens all of the time, that when you see the re-emergence of old symptoms after the initiation of a holistic health protocol, it's usually, ironically, a good sign. Now, I said there's two possibilities. Herring's Law of Cure is always preceded by something positive, right? So, a person will get on board with the programs and their headaches go away and they start sleeping through the night and their energy bounces back, their mood improves, and then the old joint pain comes back, right? If there has been no positive improvement and it's just the reemergence of joint pain after they start the therapeutic, then that is an allergy to something that's in the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. There are 114, I think, or 115 fruits and vegetables in the Beyond Tangy Tangerine red powder. If you're having joint pain with no positive stuff, 0 positive things have happened to you since you started the program, and then all of a sudden you've got joint pain, you're having an allergic reaction to one of the 115 fruits and vegetables. Now, this type of reaction means 2 things. Number 1, this person drop dead must eliminate wheat, barley, rye, and oats. This is a diagnostic clue that their system has been hammered by wheat, barley, rye, and oats. So unless they become gluten-free, this program will not work, number 1. And number 2, you need to change out the Beyond Tangy Tangerine to a different supplement that doesn't have 115 fruits and vegetables in it. And the best workaround for that in the Longevity family of nutrients is the Tropical Plus. So I would try the Tropical Plus for a while, see what happens, and keep your fingers crossed. Let's hope it's Herring's Law of Cure. Now, if it is Herring's Law of Cure, it always gets better after it gets worse. So if it's Herring's Law of Cure, the joint pain reemerges, reaches a crescendo, and then fades away like ice melting in the springtime. It's a fascinating world, the world of holistic healing, and now you get to come along for the ride because you were smart enough to join Longevity. Yeah, Herring's Law of Cure, it's a fascinating thing. I experienced that myself before I even got into holistic medicine. I got Lyme disease. How about that? I grew up in Nantucket Island, right, Massachusetts. A very, very high incidence of Lyme disease in that part of the country. I got it. Didn't know I had it. Didn't treat it with antibiotics. It went away of its own volition, you know, because I was doing stuff like yoga, and I was eating, I was taking nutritional supplements and herbs, and I was into kind of a holistic health lifestyle, certainly not in a professional physician way like I am now, but, I was kind of a novice at it and doing good things. And about 2 years later, when I was in college, I had my very first colonic, colon irrigation, and I went home that night after my first colonic, and experienced in reverse order all of the symptoms of the Lyme disease that I had had 3 years previous. And they all came back, one right after the other. It was like, watching a parade of marching soldiers just march by my window. All of these symptoms, just one after the next, about an hour apart. And then when the very last symptom left, I fell asleep, slept for a long time, woke up the next morning, born again. Herring's Law of Cure is a fascinating thing to witness, and just to be a witness to what the human body can do when you give it its due is just a really exciting, fun-filled thing. And it makes me sad, quite frankly, for the MDs amongst us, because when I can't imagine what it would be like going to work every day just drugging people. That's all that they do. They just drug and cut things out. I can't imagine how unrewarding that must be. I can't imagine how unrewarding that must be. And it's just the opposite with holistic medicine, because holistic medicine inspires. It inspires you. And look, you don't have to be a doctor. You don't have to read a million books. Just join the Longevity. Listen to a couple of CDs. Listen to a couple of lectures. Come along for the ride. If you can pass the driver's license test, you can be a successful Longevity distributor and really help us to change the world. Carl is up next. Carl, I talk too much. I'm going to try to get you in the last couple minutes that we have. Welcome aboard.
Hey, Doctor. How the heck are you today?
Pretty good, man. What's going on?
Well, I got 3 things. I got a testimonial, a little business stuff I'd like to talk to you about, and then a problem I don't think you're going to be able to get rid of. I don't know if we'll have enough time to get into this, but I'm going to try. Testimonial, I got a hold of you about a little over 3 months ago. I had diabetes, gout going on, all kinds of, we can go on and on and on. And I was in great shape. You looked at a picture on the website, and I'm 62 years old, and I'm ripped. Let's just, that's the way. I don't know if you recall seeing that picture.
I remember. I know exactly who you are, yeah.
And I'm the fabulous Four Corners.
You're right. Yeah, very good, yeah.
Okay, so anyway, I've been doing about a half a dose of what you needed because my financial situation was such that I just couldn't do full dosages.
Got it.
And I am feeling like $1 million.
What happened to the blood sugars?
Oh, I'm leveled out. I'm completely. The numbness in the toes are gone. I'm as healthy as a king. Let me continue on. We'll go into the business. I've done Amway, I've done Melaleuca, I've done telecommunications, MLMs, I've done all these different ones. And so anyway, this month I got a check from Longevity. And it's sort of bumped up my money to where now I can buy a full dose, and I am unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I have to tell people it's almost like being on drugs.
I know. It's the best kept secret in the world, man, on 2 counts, right? We've got the health opportunity, we got the business opportunity. They're both awesome. And when people try those things and try them on for size, they get results. We're up against a hard break, Carl. Listen, call me tomorrow if you can. I'll be in Canada. I'm going to do my very best to have a live show tomorrow from Canada. You call me, and I'll sort out the hard question, because if I can't fix it, I know somebody who can. Dr. Wallach is the man. Thanks for everything that you do. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it right from the horse's mouth. You don't know what you're missing. Join us. Go to fireyourmdnow.com, click on the Longevity button, and come along for the ride. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. See you tomorrow.